What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV, bringing you the best of all things gaming each and every day. Today we're back on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I'm not sure if there's going to be a bonus video tonight or not. If there is, it's probably going to be on Elder Scrolls Online, so stay tuned to my Twitter at BlackTideTV for that. Today we're talking a little bit about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and their E3 trailer reveal. I haven't talked about this yet. I've been hinting at it a little bit, but I haven't actually made a specific video where I told you guys all about what I saw in the trailer and what my opinion is on some of the things that are in the trailer. Now, I'm not going to show that trailer today for copyright reasons, but instead you're seeing some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gameplay. Just in passing, just a little side note before we start, there was a trailer released today for DLC 3 for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Finally, we've got a trailer. That DLC is coming out on the 12th of July. It's going to feature 4 multiplayer maps and a new zombies map. The trailer that we got today was a zombies map trailer. It was not for the multiplayer map, so I can't really talk about the maps too much right now. But I do know that the names of them are Berserk, Cryogen, Empire, and Rumble. The zombies map being Gorod Corvi or Krovi, I'm not really sure. Basically, it's in Stalingrad, and you're playing the main story is about Reznov this time. But that is all I can really say about the trailer for that right now. This isn't a big zombies channel. We'll probably do the Easter egg or something like that on that map eventually. But as far as the actual trailer goes, I'm not going to look into that too much. Instead, we're going to look at this E3 trailer for Infinite Warfare and get started. So I've gone through the E3 trailer a couple times. I've looked at it all. I've been writing down notes and stuff of all the things that I saw, and that's what we're going to share. That's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So right off the bat, we're looking at a mission selection screen, and I like the way that they're going with mission selection in this game. Looks really interesting. Of course, this is a campaign trailer. We have nothing for multiplayer so far, so this is mostly just going to be about campaign. But for the campaign mission selection, it's bringing back my memories of Star Wars Battlefront, like not the new Star Wars Battlefront, but the one from PlayStation 2 days, where you could go around and you had this kind of star chart or orbit system, and you could go around and highlight different planets, and you could choose where you wanted to go and attack, and you could look at the planets and see like, oh, these planets are like red because the whoever I can't remember my Star Wars knowledge right now, but this sort of faction owns those planets. Our faction is blue, we own these planets, and then you could choose what planet you wanted to attack. And that's what we're looking at for mission selection in Infinite Warfare. You kind of see that you can go on, you can select what planet you want to attack. The planet that they actually chose was actually not a planet at all. They chose a ship that's orbiting outside of the moon, and they kind of highlighted it, and they activated Operation Thermopylae, where they're attacking this ship. So right away, it's kind of weird. They're already changing everything up. They're making it really non-linear. Like, you could go and do this mission first, or do whatever mission you want to do first, and then you don't actually have to. It's just strange how they're doing it. Mostly Call of Duty has been linear in the past. It's like, you do this mission, you do the next mission, you do the next mission, and you just keep going through that until you do like 18 missions or whatever, and then the game is over. Whereas this, it's like you can jump around and you can pick what you want to do. The next thing that I notice is after we pick our mission, we're going down into the loading bay, and we're getting ready to get into our ship, the Jackal, and fly out into space and engage in this mission. And there is this huge, like, Titanfall style Goliath exosuit that walks by. Reminds me of the exosuits in Avatar that they kind of walk around in, those great big, like, 3-man high exosuits. We see one of those guys walk by. A far step over the Goliath exosuit from Advanced Warfare. This thing is huge. It's definitely going to play a big role. Like when we get into some of the missions later, we'll probably be able to pilot one of these things if we're on the ground. Maybe it's going to be a kill streak in multiplayer. I'm not sure. It would be a very, very powerful kill streak if it was. Next, we jump into the Jackal, and we shoot off into space. The Jackal is kind of cool. I guess you're going to be able to customize it. The Jackal being your spaceship, your little kind of TIE fighter thing or whatever that you're flying around. It's going to be apparently customizable. You're going to be able to spend money on it or some kind of thing and put weapons on it and stuff, because it's going to be a major part of the game. In fact, when you're flying around in space, you can just kind of fly around this Jackal and shoot at enemy ships and stuff. From the sounds of it, from interviews and stuff, they've said that you can just fly that thing around. It's not on rails like previous Call of Duty's fighter pilots and stuff have been on. Like in, I think it was even in Black Ops 3, there was a part where you're flying around in these fighter pilots, or these, what do I keep saying fighter pilots for? Fighter jets, and it's on rails, and you just kind of it flies around by itself, and all you do is shoot. And that's all that there was in previous Call of Duty games. Apparently the new Jackal, it's not on rails. You can fly it wherever you want, and you can shoot at whoever you want. Apparently you can dismount the ship and then remount the ship whenever you want. You can just jump out and go and shoot at guys instead of flying around in your ship. It's all very elaborate. It's all very interesting is the word I would use. I'm not really sure how I feel about that right now. I feel like I'm gonna crash the Jackal into a lot of things and kill myself a lot of times, and that's gonna be pretty annoying because Call of Duty isn't usually a game where you're flying around in spaceships and stuff. So it's going to take a lot of people, a lot of getting used to get comfortable with this flying around of these spaceships and stuff. But one thing that I did notice about while we're flying around in space and we're engaging all these enemies, something that kind of made me angry because it's so fake, is that there's explosions and there's gunfire and you can hear everything. Like later on in the trailer, you blow open a window and all these guys fly out of their spaceship and into space, and they're screaming. They're like, ah! It's like, in space, no one can hear you scream. That isn't just a line, that is the truth. Space is a vacuum. It sucks all the sound out of everything. Really, in space, when you're flying around in your spaceship and you're blowing up shit and you're firing guns and stuff, this is what you would hear. Nothing. There would not be a sound. It would just be flying around, just mime shooting at things. Like, you wouldn't be able to hear anything. Obviously, I know that it's just a cinematic thing, like in Star Wars, where they put explosions and stuff in space all the time. Like the Death Star blows up and it goes like, yeah, I get it that it's a cinematic thing, but still, it bugs me that they're not making it a little bit more realistic. Because Battlefield, for example, which is the #1 competition for Call of Duty right now, is so realistic. And Call of Duty is kind of like really just throwing realism out the window. Like, I understand that it's a futuristic game, but really, if you can make it futuristic and still make it somewhat realistic by keeping science in its place. But that is just my, I guess it's like OCD or some kind of condition that I have, that it just bugs me when I see something in space and it's making sound, because that's not how space works. Anyways, we jump off of our Jackal and we get into our zero gravity space battle up on top of this ship, which was kind of cool. I mean, there was some good spots, some bad spots, mostly bad spots in my opinion. Basically, we jump out of our spaceship and right away you notice that the background and the environment look incredible. It looks really cool. You can see Earth off in the distance and it looks really amazing. It looks like it's straight from a picture from NASA's satellite or some bullshit. It looks really, really realistic. And then you look at the stuff that's closer to you and it looks incredibly fake. So you've got all this really intricate background detail, and then when you actually look at the weapon in your hands, it looks really plasticky. It looks like it hasn't been rendered or something. Like when your camo doesn't render in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and it's kind of just like blotchy, that's what the whole weapon looks like that you're holding in your hand. It looks really fake, looks really plasticky, doesn't look like anything's detailed too much. Everything that's really close to you kind of looks like that. One extra thing worth mentioning about our original weapon is that it's actually got a canted iron sight, so he aims down the holographic sight or whatever he's using, and then later on he actually just turns the gun on its side and he's got another little iron sight to shoot through. So we've got these double sights coming back again, these hybrid sights. It looks like Exo Abilities will be returning. The first thing that we see is a grappling hook similar to Advanced Warfare's grappling hook. Later we see an Exo Shield ability used to protect the player, and then he runs up and he bashes enemies with his shield and sends them flying. So Exo Abilities might be a thing that's coming back to multiplayer. I'm not sure. It would be really cool. I kind of liked Exo Abilities. I think they gave the game another dynamic of having a perk that you could activate instead of having a perk that's always constantly activated. We see a couple of grenades. I don't think any of them will make it into the multiplayer. One, he throws it and it tracks its way to an enemy, like it flies through the sky and then it blows up when it hits the enemy. There's another one that he throws and it shuts off gravity. That one might make it into multiplayer based on how fancy they make the multiplayer with advanced movement and zero gravity and stuff. But he throws this grenade and all the enemies kind of shoot up into the sky because gravity stops working, and then he just kills them all, like absolutely slaughters them all. So that those two grenades, I have a feeling they're not going to make it into multiplayer because they're just too advanced, they're too crazy, and it would make it really difficult it would be really difficult to work with those grenades. I can tell you that the game is going to be incredibly difficult on higher difficulty settings. When we're flying around in zero gravity, there's no cover. He's just kind of floating through space, moving super slow. And on veteran or realistic difficulty where you die in like one bullet, it's going to be really, really, really hard to play this campaign. Just because, like I said, there's no cover. You're just floating through space, and there's all these enemies in front of you. Like, you're going to die. Like if I can make my finger snap like that. But apart from that, we move inside of the ship, we move inside the enemy ship, and we notice that there's actually a friendly robot named Ethan that's on our team, and he's providing squad support and stuff. This is definitely far into the future if we've got robots with names that are just like our best buds, like helping us to do whatever they're doing. Kind of interesting that we've got this happening. And the only other thing worth mentioning is we swap to another weapon, a secondary energy weapon for close quarters combat, some kind of SMG, and it fires like blue lasers instead of bullets, and it looks even more fake than the original weapon. It looks extremely plasticky. We're going to talk about weapons in a future video. There's been some news leak for the weapons in Infinite Warfare, so we're going to talk about it in the future video. Today, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I noticed in the Infinite Warfare trailer. Definitely looks like an interesting game. I can't wait to get more info on it, but for now, that is all we have to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.